Well, I like it.
Okay.
Let's get ready to go.
And you'll introduce Alan as well, right, Dean?
You mean?
When you record it later?
Yes, of
Yeah.
course, of course,
Okay.
of course. Yeah, so we can just go into. Let me just get this to look at that.
That's funny. I actually love doing this. I kind of.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's important that you get some type of message out there,
Yeah.
and let people know that certain things that a lot of people want to keep to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I have no secret.
Sharing.
This could be no holds barred. Like a wrestling match.
Let's do it.
Ready? You ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
All right, cool.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
Are we ready over here?
I hope so.
Okay. We're good. All right. Let's see.
How can I set this comfortable just like this? Yeah.
You just, yeah. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay. So Bean is going to record the intro later on. So
It's going to be a big intro, lights,
Dun, 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 dun,
orchestra.
dun, 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 dun.
Like MGM, right?
That's right. That's right. So, Alan, thank you very much for joining us today. Real pleasure to have you here. You have an amazing story. I'm really excited to talk to you today. I mean, the conversation that we just had, it was amazing, and I cannot wait to share this with the rest of the world. But why don't we get started first with you telling us a little bit about your company and how the company gets started and what you guys do.
First of all, thank you for having me here.
Sure.
It's a pleasure on this beautiful sunny day that we're in here doing this. The Bacharach Group is a New York-based nationwide staffing firm. We have about 40 years of experience with offices. Our corporate headquarters is in Manhattan, and we have 14 different locations. San Francisco, Las Vegas, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Philadelphia, Boston, Long Island, New Jersey, and Boca Raton, and I'm probably missing a couple as we speak. We specialize in staffing, both full-time, consulting, temporary. We have a retained arm as well. We have a company called Jackson Lucas, which is our retained search arm, and we kind of get it done. That's who we are.
Very good. Excellent. Now, why don't we just actually take a step back and start talking about how you started your entrepreneurial journey? Because if I remember correctly, actually, the company and yourself, you were in accounting and finance, and the company didn't start in the recruiting world. So how did you pivot? Why did you take that, you changed the course of, in the direction that you were going from finance and accounting to actually now into recruiting?
Well, finance and accounting was back in high school,
Uh-huh.
where they wanted me to be an accountant.
Exactly.
And I didn't like working with numbers. Actually, I never was a great student, so I never went to college. When all my friends were growing up, everyone was being a doctor, a lawyer, dentist. Alan, what's going on with you? I didn't know what I wanted to do. So actually, we used to work in the Catskill Mountains as waiters. So I was a waiter in the mountains, and I had to work, and my family had to work. So I worked as a waiter in the Catskill Mountains. I did something called the circuit. So I did the Catskills and Miami Beach. So right out of high school, I was working as a waiter in hotels. Upstate New York and Miami, Florida. Moved out of my house and kind of went on my own. So I was working as a waiter. I did something called the circuit. Mm-hmm. We worked a couple of years up north and down south. Through that, I get a call one day from my dad. He says, "You got to come home. I got a great job for you. You're going to be a butcher. We're going to get you a union job, and you're going to have a union career. And unions were great back then, and you're going to be set for life." So I packed up my waiting table and my glasses and my jacket and came back to New York. I worked as in a local meat packing plant for a number of years. Hated it. I figured, what else am I going to do with my life? And I started bartending at nighttime. I worked back in 40 years ago in one of the hottest clubs on Long Island. I was a bartender and I was working in a meat plant during the day. I started making more money at nighttime in the bar than I did during the day working in the meat plant. So one day I just kind of quit the meat packing plant and I got my real estate license.
Mm-hmm.
I was selling residential real estate when interest rates were 18 and 19%.
Wow.
Houses were $25,000 and $30,000. I sold a couple of houses, and then I was going to be this big real estate magnate. So I quit residential real estate and got my commercial real estate license and my broker's real estate license while I was still bartending at nighttime.
Uh-huh.
So back then, shopping centers were first starting to come around. I was working for a large real estate firm. I was making 100 phone calls a day. I did it for a year. I couldn't even get arrested. And here I am, like, what do you do now? And like, okay, I'm on my own, not living home, and now I'm a full-time bartender.
Mm-hmm.
Having a great time. Bartending is it's a great field.
Right.
You can have a lot of fun, but as I'm getting older, I'm still young, but I'm getting older, and I'm always respectful of my mom and dad. My dad goes like, what's your story? Kind of an embarrassment to everybody. Who's a doctor, who's a dentist, who's a lawyer? Here's my son, the bartender. There's nothing wrong with that. And I try to explain that when you have old school parents. And when they're out to dinner on Sunday night with their friends, and everyone's telling the story, and my parents are going like this.
Right.
But through the bar, you meet some very interesting people.
Oh.
So one day, I met somebody who was serving drinks, and he goes, "You'd be great in my business." What's your business? Staffing. What is staffing? What do we do? He goes, well, we're on the phone, we get people jobs. I said, do you get paid? He goes, no, it's strictly commission. But when you make deals, do you get paid? And do you get paid relatively fast? Of course, in real estate, even when you make a deal, it takes 8 months to get paid. I said, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
So still bartending at nighttime, because bartending...
So you had an ambition. You were very ambitious all along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why. Well, I think it was... And as you're growing up, you're driving around with a Volkswagen and somebody's driving around with a Corvette. Mm-hmm. What's going on with this picture?
Right.
I want the Corvette.
Right.
How do I get it?
Right.
So I started working with this gentleman, and he started teaching me the staffing business. Well, I fell in love with the business. I was very, very successful, very, very fast. I was able to kind of put people together.
What did you like about it?
I love the action. Calling a company up, telling them, finding out what they need, and me trying to find that person, and bang, getting paid. Mm-hmm. And then helping somebody also, because we're helping people in their careers, So, and I felt that it was just a very rewarding feeling that I'm finally doing something that I'm really good at. Mm-hmm. I thought I was good at real estate too. I probably would have been successful if I stuck with it, but I had bills to pay. But this thing, for some reason, came very natural for me.
You found your sweet spot.
Yeah, it was good.
Look at your face.
I'm smiling because I remember as I'm doing it, I found a way to navigate into the companies, and I would invite the managers out to the bar, because I was still working in the bar. I worked for this gentleman for 1 year. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'll never work for anybody stupider than myself again. Mm-hmm. And I quit. And I opened up my own place. I borrowed $9,000 or 3 credit cards, and maxed them out. I was young. And I started my own company. Okay. And I started...
Sorry to interrupt you, but when was that turning point when you decided, okay, now this is the time where I'm going to open my own company, I'm ready to do this? When was that decision point?
When I was due a very big commission check.
Okay.
And I went to get paid. And there was an accountant for the firm. I used to call him the chopper. Mm-hmm. He used to come in and they would chop commissions all the time. Okay. So the chopper came in one last time for me. And I was supposed to get paid a certain amount of money, and he chopped my commission, and I just said, I'm done. I'm doing this for myself. Mm-hmm. I'm going to open up my own firm. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to bet the farm on me.
Got it. Did you have any fears?
Back then I wasn't afraid. Okay. I wasn't afraid of anything back then.
You were fearless.
I was fearless. I was fearless back then.
You were not afraid of the finances, the financial situation, whether you were going to have a paycheck or not, or insurance.
No, I had no.
You didn't have any bills to pay.
I had bills. I had car pay. I always had bills to pay. I moved out of my house since when I was 18 years old. Okay. I was fearless. I found. You know what they say if you have something you love, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
I found that 35 years ago. Okay. I loved it so much. I loved the action. I was very, very good at it. And there was no fear.
Okay.
There was no fear. I just, like a hot knife through butter. I just cut right through it, and I built with I had a partner back then, and we built a nice firm, a nice staffing firm, a technology recruiting firm, both full-time and consulting. And then I went into the legal business, placing legal people, proofreaders, copywriters, second and third shift, because the margins were very, very high back then.
Got it.
I worked with this gentleman for 18 years, and he wanted to stay in these two. We had a big company. We had a really nice company, and he wanted to stay in these two business lines, and I wanted more. And so, I'm in the business for 18 years. You meet a lot of people. I met my partner now, Richard Bacharach. We were competitors, but friendly competitors. We always helped each other through tough times, good times. He was a solid guy. He was somebody that I looked up to, and we looked up to each other. There were no egos at all, and we just I sold my company back to my partners. Rich and I shook hands, and he had an accounting and finance and real estate firm. I had technology and legal, and we were off. And we started going.
Wow. Very interesting story, obviously. By now, very successful.
Well, you know something? There's another component to the story, and that's the best component right now. As we were growing, Richard and I, you can only do so much.
Right.
So I was looking for a right-hand guy.
Yes.
Somebody that can help me take it to the next level. And I met this gentleman called Anthony Fonzo, rock star in the business. And I never forget it, we went to lunch. I'm there 15 minutes early. He's there 15 minutes earlier than I am. And him and I just hit it off, and we developed this great relationship, and brought him into the firm, and he started in one division. He started running my technology division for us. He brought in engineering, he brought in construction, he brought in all these different divisions. He was a guy that had when they say two people make it happen?
Yes.
Yin and yang.
Mm-hmm.
We were like yin and yang.
Mm-hmm. You complemented each other.
Oh my
basically.
God, he was phenomenal. We had a lot of fun. He's the gentleman that helped take this company where we are today. And he's a partner in the firm, and I'm proud to say, just like Rich, I'm proud to say these guys are my partners, because all three of us collectively together, we can't get this done. Anthony's a phenomenal guy, a lot of fun to work with, no nonsense, and just gets the job done. Without him, we're not where we are today. I'm not in Florida without him.
Right.
So he's given me the opportunity to kind of spread my wings a little bit. And it's a really good story. It's a feel-good story with us. So
that is a really good point. And actually, he's talking about not only the partners, the vendors, but also just team as a whole, right? And I think it's a really, really important aspect of entrepreneurship. And when you ended up working with other people, and it reminds me back when I was in college at George Mason University up in Virginia. Actually, we had a professor come up and give us a speech where he actually took a pencil. And he took the pencil up in the air and he said, okay, I'm going to show you this. And he took the pencil and then he broke it. And he said, this is what it would happen if you are in your career or just, in your business by yourself, and doing whatever it is that you want to do on your own. And you will very easily break. Now, I'm going to show you what it would happen if you're capable of building a team. And he took a bunch of pencils, like 20 of them, and put it together and put a rubber band around it. And then he tried to break it. And basically it wouldn't break. And he said, this is what happens when you're capable in the business world to build a team around you, because you shine and you're as strong as the team that you build for you, with you. And it reinforces what you're saying.
Yes.
Is the capability as an individual, as an entrepreneur, as an executive, of being able to build a very strong team, of surrounding yourself of people that are like-minded, of people that are, that are capable of helping you, people that raise you and that shine with you.
You have to build a team. You have to be secure enough to build a team with people that are better than you.
Exactly.
So for me, when
if you shine, I shine. Well, we all shine.
When Anthony came aboard, he had something that I didn't have.
Right.
So when you turn the position over to somebody else, and say, okay, collectively going to do this, but this is what you're doing right now, you have to sit back.
Exactly.
And you have to let them run the show.
Right.
And it's that was probably one of my hardest challenges.
Mm-hmm.
You know, turning it over to somebody else, but I knew in my heart he was the guy, and he was the guy that was going to take it to another level. And you sit back and you watch him operate, and you start looking at it and you say, okay, he's doing this right, he's doing this right. Maybe he'll make a mistake over here. I'll give him a little, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut and let him do his thing. And that probably was the hardest thing that I had to do. But you know, you fast forward to right now, it's probably one of the smartest things
Absolutely.
that I had to do. Because as this company started growing, you know, Richard went into other businesses. We own an exotic car business that's called Cloud9 Exotics. Richard's involved with that company with his two sons, and Richard and his sons got involved in a couple of other businesses. So at that point, it was Anthony and I kind of leaning on this thing, and collectively together, no egos, no ego, and that's the most
That's
important
very
thing. You have to have confidence in your ability and confidence to know that somebody else is going to do this and they're going to do it right. They're going to make mistakes along the way because nobody's perfect.
We all do.
But if everyone's rowing the ship in the right direction,
Yeah.
it's sweet music that plays. And it's, by the way, it's not easy.
Right.
It's not easy at all.
We all have our, strengths and our weaknesses.
Yes.
And we need to recognize what they are. And we need to let the people that can be good at our weaknesses do their job.
Yes, and
Yeah.
you have to sit back and be quiet.
Exactly.
And that's
I totally agree.
And that's probably the hardest thing, But I've learned.
Exactly.
I finally grew up at 63, Hey, Alan, keep your mouth shut.
And actually, it goes back to the core values,
Yes.
right? And if you allow me, because I want to go deep into the why.
I always wanted something. I don't know what I wanted, but whatever it did, it was never enough. If I made $1, I wanted 10. If I made 10, I wanted 100. There was an inner burning inside me that to say, if I find something that I love, I'm going to be the best at what I do. And I'm not going to stop at anything to be that person. So when you're younger, what drives us? Our family, our children, our spouse. So you're newly married, back in the day, you want to have a house, the big picture, a white house, white picket fence, car, 2 kids, dog, and so on and so forth. I lived in Brooklyn. In Brooklyn, it was cement, just cement walls, So how do I get out there? How do I get that over there? And it was an inner drive that I had. Once I found out in my business that if I put the time in and I work really, really hard, I will get every materialistic thing I wanted in life, that when you get them, you'll find out they mean absolutely nothing. But I'll strive to get them, and I did. But once you get them, you kind of find that you rip the onion apart and you peel the layers back, and you find out that it's not all there. There's something more.
Interesting.
So I was that guy. I was that guy that wanted the house, got the house, the fancy cars, the boats, everything, and I got that through business, being successful, networking, going out, meeting people, but I paid a price. I paid a price for my insanity or my drive. And I paid a price. And you will pay a price for success. And everybody will pay a different price. My family paid a price for my drive. But I still was dad, and I still was that guy. But my drive came first. And my passion for my business took a front seat to everything I was doing. When you get involved in the game, and you're rolling in the game, you don't want to listen to anything. You can't see anything. You're just focused. You're focused on the prize. And you're focused on being the best at what you can do. And how do I become the best? How can I make myself better? How can I train my staff to be better? How can I get everybody to follow me? How can I be the best leader? What can I do? So constantly reading, putting positive thoughts in my brain, non-sleeping, growing, making mistakes along the way. But I just had nothing. I was so driven because I wanted success so bad. And then when I had it, I didn't lose the success, but I lost things that were very important to me.
So it was really, it was a lesson learned.
It was a very, very, my parents were proud of me. My mom used to walk around with a picture of my pool in her wallet in my backyard, so it was great, but I did pay a price. But I believe if you have a good soul, you get the opportunity to do it again, And once you get the opportunity to do it again, you learn. And you never you put your hand on the stove once, you don't put it on the stove a second time.
Right. So what did you do differently the second time around?
I found somebody different in my life that understand who I was, that I was able to communicate with. You know, that understood before you step into the game with Alan, that this is a game. You know, and I'm not going to change who I am, but I will change certain things the way I go about doing.
Yeah.
And I did. And I had the opportunity to meet somebody else in my life and still hold on to everything else. Like I said earlier, my son is my mentor.
Yes.
I can talk to him about everything. And you find a way to put your priorities a little bit different. But it's, if you get the opportunity to do it again, now I'm not talking about business, I'm just talking about my personal life. If you get the opportunity to do it again, you be smart about it.
Right. Well, I think this is a very, very important topic that very few people actually take the time to talk about, right? And from the entrepreneurial perspective, I think, and you and I were talking about this earlier, right? That we all, as entrepreneurs, put our heart and soul, right? Especially when it's during your younger years, right? You have blinders like a horse, and you're just going. You just are looking forward. Perhaps you're married, perhaps you're not. You're engaged, or with a partner, and you're just going 100 miles an hour. All you want to do is looking at that target, and a lot of things are taking a toll in the meantime, like you were saying.
Yes.
You know, for some people, you're lucky enough that you are with someone who is a partner, who understands what you're going through, and this person is next to you, walking side by side, understanding the process, right?
Yes.
And locally, this person will continue to be with you until the end. But in some cases, such as your case, this may not be the case, and it may take a toll, and it ended up not working out. So I think what the lesson learned here is that, perhaps the recommendation or the advice is to also pay attention to the relationships, to also pay attention to your personal life. That, yes, we are working an immense amount of hours.
Yes.
We are doing a lot of things for our jobs, for our entrepreneur work, for investing the time that we are.
A lot of time.
But you were lucky that you had a second chance.
Well,
go ahead.
You have options.
Right.
I think that for me, I just kept on going.
Right.
I wasn't gonna stop. But when you take the dive into entrepreneurship, you gotta do it the right way. And if there's nobody there to tell you, nobody taught me. I had to kind of wing this on my own.
Yeah.
You're gonna make mistakes. But I think that if you look yourself in the mirror and communicate directly with your family, and here's the bottom line: you have to sit down with everybody.
Let's just be honest.
You have to sit down and say,
Yes.
"Hey, family,
Yes.
this is what I'm doing.
Right.
Husband, are you on board?
Yeah.
Child,
Wife, kids,
wife,
dog, cat.
are you on board? Because this is
Right.
what's going to happen.
Right.
I'm leaving a great job over here, and I'm going to go here. I'm going to go on my own. So get ready.
Are you with me? No, don't get ready. No. Are we
Right.
all in the same boat?
Exactly.
It's not just you.
Yeah.
It's the whole family. It's everybody.
You're going to be eating dinner alone. I'm coming home 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
So,
I'm going to be working until 5 o'clock in the morning, and you're going to be in bed.
And when I come home, I'm not going to be happy every day.
Right.
But give it time. And if I have your support as a family, watch what'll happen.
That's a very good, yes.
Watch what'll happen. Because besides having family support, if you're lucky enough to have partners like I am, partners are always good to have as well. So if you're doing it by yourself, as an entrepreneur, number one, make sure you know what you're getting into. Make sure you have a really good game plan. 6 month, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. You know, most businesses fail in the first 5 years that they're in business.
Yes.
And just make sure that you're ready to fasten your seatbelt, because it's going to be a ride. You know, I have a saying, and I still have the saying 35 years later. I wake up in the morning, I lace up my gloves, and I come out swinging. One day I get knocked out, one day I knock them out, but I'm going to win the fight. You know, I'm fighting for 35 years. I think I won the fight already. But the 35 years has not been full of happiness every day.
Right.
You know, I always walk around with a smile on my face, but I always tell people there's a tornado in my head. Nobody will ever see it. You'll never see what's going on. You'll see Alan smiling and happy, but at night when I'm alone in bed and I'm looking up the sky and I'm not sleeping because this client didn't pay me, this one owes me this type of money, we're having a problem over here, we're having a problem over there. That's what entrepreneurship is. How much can you take? You know, how much do you want to suck in until you get that brass ring?
Right.
The brass ring is there though.
Right.
It's there. It really is there.
Well, I really appreciate the fact that you were able to actually open up and share your personal experience with us and talk about it so publicly. So how about we shift here a little bit and start talking about just what advice would you give to entrepreneurs and new business owners from the aspect of, you know, if you were to look back and were to do something differently? You know, what would you do in a different way so that way they can actually think about it and perhaps, you know, learn from your mistakes?
First of all, make sure you have a good business plan.
Business plan.
Business plan is the most important thing.
Okay.
Make sure you have good credit. Make sure
But
you
a
have
business plan meaning put one together
you
and
have to have a business plan.
Okay.
You can't just
swing it.
You can't just wing this, you know.
Okay.
And today it's very different. You know, it's different than it was years and years ago. But business is business.
Right.
So you need a plan. Map out a plan. You know, a 6-month plan, a yearly plan, and follow it. You know, and sometimes you have to deviate from it because nothing's etched in stone.
Right.
So you have to navigate. And today, you know, we're not only navigating through our competitors, but we're navigating through the world. We're a global economy right now. So I'll take on any competitor. You know, that's fine, because competitors are nothing to me. But when I have to start navigating through the economy and navigating through what's going on this side of the world, what's going on with the market, what's going on in unemployment, I'm in the staffing business. So right now, unemployment, they're saying, is 3.7%. It's the lowest it's been, and the job market is booming right now, but we can't find people. So be prepared. Be prepared. You have to have every base covered.
Right.
From a plan to money to the most important thing, you have to have passion for what you do.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you don't have passion for what you do and you don't love what you do, I promise you, you will fail. So it's really,
So true.
it's all of the above. You have to make sure.
The why.
The why.
Goes back to the why.
What do I want? You know?
Make sure you know the why.
Yeah, and if you don't have a plan, have passion, good credit, I would say, because you're going to need money, you know, get ready to leverage your house, get ready to sign on the dotted line, and it's very, very interesting. And I think for the right person, I recommend it. I really, really do. But you have to be that right person. You have to have the it factor. You know, and if you have that it factor and you have passion for what you do, just run it.
Yeah.
You'll be successful. Don't give up, because you're gonna get, oh my God, you're gonna get kicked around like a can in the street. You know?
Oh yes, we know that.
And that's everyday life. But this is adding on to everyday life.
That's
you know.
right.
You know, so be prepared. I'm just trying to.
You're not motivated every day, right? So how do you find motivation? You know, it's like, you know, there's days that things just don't work out, and you just get up again and keep going. So how do you find that motivation?
Me personally, I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. I go to the gym every day.
No, me too. Yeah.
I'm in the gym.
Okay.
I try to eat right. I try to stay healthy. You really need a healthy lifestyle. Where you can't go out there drinking. You can't go out there partying. You have to focus. You know, there's enough time to do that. But when you're first starting out, well, I'm doing it for 35 years. I'm still motivated. People ask me, you know, how are you still motivated? I said, I'm not ready to not be motivated. What else am I going to do? Lay on the beach all day long?
Right.
It's a wonderful life to do that. But after doing it for 5 days, after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, what do you do?
Right.
what do? You have to and you have to keep your brain going too. You really, really do.
That is the one thing that you can just not shut off. It's
No.
just, as an entrepreneur, it just keeps going all day long.
But you have to.
at night.
You have to be. I call it business shape.
Yes.
And that's everything of the above. I have a funny story. Like, I don't drink, but I used to go out. I would take clients out to drink all the time.
Yeah.
But I was the guy that was straight. So what I would do, I would get to these meetings 20 minutes early, and I find out where I was sitting and go to the waiter to give him $20. I said, do me one favor. When I order a drink, I'm going to order vodka on the rocks with a lime. Make sure it's water on the rocks with a lime, but give them whatever they want. So I never drank, but I got everyone loaded. And I was always sharp. And to this day, I shouldn't give my secrets out on.
We know the secret.
But I was always the sharp.
Water on the rocks.
Water on the rocks and clubs. I would tip the guy. I walk in before everybody else.
Okay.
And to this day, I still do it.
Okay.
That was funny. I was with a client last Christmas, right? And we were in the bar and they're drinking. Give me another one.
Did you ever walk out like this?
No, but they look. I can have fun. I like to have a good time. And we're out there. We're at this club and we're having a great time. And at the end of the day, you gotta go down. How did you get home? I saw the guy give you 5 drinks. I said, I called Uber. But he was a good friend of mine. So I told him the story afterwards.
Yeah.
And he goes, holy mackerel. He goes, I can't believe it. I said, I've been doing this my whole career.
Oh, wow.
I said, because number one, I had to get up the next day.
Yes.
And I had to be on my game.
And I had to go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning.
But I had to be on my game.
And that's right.
And they woke up the next morning and said, what'd I say? I said, well, you gave me an order for this, you gave me an order for this, you didn't give it to me.
And 5 water on their rocks.
And I would use that to my advantage.
Yeah.
You have to have an edge.
Yeah.
Whatever,
I like that tip. I'm going to write it down.
Whatever that edge is,
Yes.
you have to have. So that's how I found my edge.
Okay.
Is by just trying to stay focused when everyone's out, everyone can have it.
I like it. As I would say, the way I tropicalize it, me like it. Me like it.
But it worked
Yeah.
because I knew everything. People, alcohol is like truth serum.
Oh my God.
People-
Tell me about it.
People don't know. I'm not drinking. Drinking is great. I just don't. It's not for me. But I found I always had an edge. I always wanted to have the edge.
Yeah.
Whatever edge I could find,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted.
There we go.
Wherever I was.
All right. Well, this has been amazing. I have 2 last questions
Go
for
ahead.
you. So one is, where do you see your company now? 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now?
Great question. I think we're in 13 states right now. We're going to own Florida.
Oh, wow. I like it.
I'm on a mission.
On a mission.
I'm on a mission.
Okay.
That's just part of the company.
Okay.
I'm down here to build out the Southeast, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, the Carolinas, and maybe a little to Alabama and Tennessee. But the rest of the organization, Anthony is doing a phenomenal job growing the company, and kind of moving along and just taking on different states. Our goal is to be in as many states that we can to make sense. Again, doing it strategically. So I came down here and trying to build out the Southeast.
There you go.
So that's our goal. The goal is to kind of just take it one state at a time.
And by the way, there is no goal small enough.
Right.
As long as you set your mind to it, you'll do it.
We really have a good team, and I don't take credit. And Anthony will say the same thing. He has a great operations team that works with him, and we have a great management team. All our district directors, I think there's James Markle that runs Florida, Matt Conroy runs Philly, Chris Papa runs California, Evan Price runs Long Island. I'm probably missing the rest of the 10 guys, and they're going to get mad at me. But these guys have been with the firm, for a really, really long time. And we all wear our hearts on our sleeve. We kind of bleed what we do. And these guys are solid guys. I personally, and so does Anthony, we like to watch them grow.
Yes.
We have people that have been with us for a very long time that came in at one level and grow to the next level where they came in as a junior recruiter. Now they're running teams. I think watching somebody grow internally and giving somebody that opportunity,
It's beautiful.
and watch them seize it, is really unbelievable.
It's rewarding.
It's very, very rewarding. Yeah, it's very cool.
So if I give you the opportunity now to talk to this mic like you were talking to a large audience of entrepreneurs, what would you tell them? Just talk to them.
Find your passion.
Find your passion.
Find your passion and live it, breathe it, and think it every day. And remember, you're going to battle every day. You're going to fight every day. Never give up. And by the way, you'll reach your goal. And then once you reach that goal, you're going to feel like a great person, and you're going to want another. You're going to want another goal after that. Because unfortunately, as entrepreneurs, we're just never satisfied. We always want more. But go for it. Go for it 100%. And today in this world, 100% doesn't cut it. You have to give it 200% or stay home.
There you go. Thank you very much. It
You're
was a
welcome.
pleasure
It was a
having
pleasure.
you here.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Good stuff.
Thank
Can we
you.
get it on the phone?
Yeah.
I
Same.
hear you.